It was a moment that united the world. On July 20th, 1969, humanity achieved the impossible, landing on the moon. But the story of Apollo 11 is about more than just a single step on lunar soil. It's a tale of a Cold War rivalry, relentless innovation, and the courage of three astronauts who risked everything to explore the unknown. How did we get there? And what did it take to pull off the most daring mission in human history? This is the story of Apollo 11, one giant leap for mankind. The journey to the moon began with a rivalry. In 1957, the Soviet Union shocked the world by launching Sputnik, the first artificial satellite. 4 years later, Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space, cementing the Soviet Union's dominance in the space race. The United States was determined to catch up. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy delivered a bold challenge to NASA: land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the decade was out. Landing on the moon was easier said than done. The Apollo program faced enormous technical and logistical challenges. Rockets needed to be powerful enough to escape Earth's gravity, and spacecraft needed to be capable of navigating 240,000 miles to the moon. Tragedy struck in 1967 when a fire during a ground test claimed the lives of 3 astronauts: Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger B. Chaffee. The Apollo program was grounded, and NASA had to rethink its approach. But out of the ashes of Apollo, one came a renewed commitment to safety and innovation. Engineers worked tirelessly, and by 1968, Apollo 7 successfully orbited Earth. The path to the moon was clear. Apollo 11 would be the mission to make history. Its crew consisted of 3 men: Neil Armstrong, the mission commander, a test pilot with nerves of steel; Buzz Aldrin, the lunar module pilot, known for his intellect and meticulous planning; Michael Collins, the command module pilot, tasked with orbiting the moon while his crewmates descended to the surface. Each man carried the weight of the mission, knowing failure was not an option. On July 16, 1969, the world watched as Apollo 11's Saturn V rocket roared to life. Standing over 363 feet tall, the Saturn V remains the most powerful rocket ever built. As millions watched on TV, the rocket lifted off, carrying the hopes and dreams of humanity into the heavens. The journey to the moon took 3 days. Inside the cramped command module, Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins worked tirelessly, monitoring systems and preparing for the lunar landing. As they approached the moon, the crew marveled at the view, a desolate gray surface unlike anything seen before. On July 20th, 1969, Armstrong and Aldrin entered the lunar module Eagle and began their descent. But the landing was anything but smooth. As they approached the surface, alarms blared. Eagle's computer was overloaded with data. Armstrong took manual control, guiding the spacecraft over boulders and craters. With fuel running low, Armstrong spotted a clear patch of land and set Eagle down. At 4:17 p.m. Eastern Time, the words came through. "Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed." Hours later, Neil Armstrong climbed down the ladder and stepped onto the lunar surface. His words became immortal. "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Buzz Aldrin soon followed, describing the moon as magnificent desolation. Together, they planted the American flag, conducted experiments, and collected samples, spending over 2 hours exploring. After 21 hours on the moon, Armstrong and Aldrin rejoined Collins in the command module. The journey back to Earth was uneventful, and on July 24th, 1969, Apollo 11 splashed down in the Pacific Ocean, where the crew was safely recovered. Apollo 11 was more than just a technological achievement. It was a moment that united humanity. For the first time, people from all nations looked up at the moon and saw a symbol of what we can achieve when we work together. Apollo 11 paved the way for future exploration. Its legacy lives on in every mission to Mars, every satellite launched, and every child who dreams of the stars. The moon landing wasn't the end. It was the beginning of humanity's journey into the cosmos. The story of Apollo 11 reminds us that with vision, determination, and courage, we can achieve the impossible. What will humanity's next giant leap be? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more incredible stories of exploration and discovery. Subscribe for more stories of science, history, and human achievement.